What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we have a special team submitted from my patron community, and this team by SoTD was used by all the patrons for the whole season. We kept this team a secret, and for good reason why. It's extremely strong. Quagsire, Noctowl, and Frostlass. Quagsire core breaks a lot of teams. It has fantastic coverage. Think about all the Lanturns, Galarian Stufisk, Bastiodon, Noctowls. This thing puts in work, and obviously Noctowl and Frostlass are also very strong. So shout out to SoTD for sharing this team with us, and congrats on hitting legend using it. Beautiful. All right, let's get into the battles. All right, getting into the first one, we have Quagsire on the lead versus Pidgeot. Pretty positive lead right here for us, but we will see them swap out into Noctowl. Now, why is that? Well, the whole point of this team is if you don't see something that Quagsire hard counters on the lead, so something maybe like a Galarian Stufisk or Bastiodon, you want to try to draw it out. So they're going to go ahead and bring in the Noctowl right here for this matchup, and the Pidgeot's looking to stay in. So maybe they're weak in the back to Noctowl, which means Frostlass might have a little bit more play, but we will see another Sky Attack come through, and the opponent, will they shield? Nope, no shield just yet. We do see a swap out, actually going to be a Gliscor in the back. So we're going to see them try to go, nope, they do just go for another Sky Attack, building up to the Shadow Ball. But Frostlass as well is in a unique position right here where it can do a lot of damage with Powder Snow because of the typing there. Now we do see a beautiful swap out back into Quagsire, catching this charge move, and it was the Night Slash. Granted, it wasn't going to be the Earthquake, right? It was going to be a Night Slash, but this now could potentially be an Earthquake. So will we see a shield? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and see a shield, and it was the Earthquake. So that's a very good shield right there on the Quagsire. Noctowl is still alive with a charge move, and Frostlass is still in the back. So they're going to go ahead and let this next Night Slash go through. Quagsire is now getting dangerously low, but thankfully Stone Edge does a lot of damage right here, where we might actually see the first shield of this game go down from the opponent. I believe they haven't shielded yet. Nope, they still haven't shielded. Boom! Down goes the Gliscor. All right, let's see what decides to come in. It is going to be a Medicham, so it makes a lot of sense why the opponent didn't swap out right away out of Pidgeot. As Quagsire now can throw the Earthquake right here, they get a shield, they swap into Frostlass now on basically even shields, even energy, but in comes the Pidgeot, and this could be a dangerous Brave Bird. So they're going to go ahead and shield, and it was the Brave Bird, so now they should be able to Powder Snow down, and things are looking very good. This has been a beautiful dance of health and energy here from SoTD, and this is awesome to see. Now, it was a dynamic punch right there, which is pretty spicy moveset, but I have seen them run on Medicham to just really dominate those Bastiodons and Galarian Stufisk. So the Frostlass now can easily go, actually they're going to go ahead and go for Avalanche right here. I don't think they would have made it to Shadow Ball, so they just decided to go for that. Yeah, this is going to be a close one. Remember, Noctowl still has a Sky Attack. So Medicham desperately trying to load up on energy. This is actually going to be a close one. If there's an Ice Punch ready to go, Noctowl. Oh, that I thought that might have been the play. Beautiful sack swap right there to catch the Ice Punch and coming back in with Noctowl. So they brought, oh my goodness, Medicham. This reminds me of the first season of Silpharina World Championships where they caught that charge move in the finals. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got Tapu Fini. That was a really good play right there. What you guys saw happen was they brought in the Noctowl to visually tell the Medicham, hey, Noctowl's on the field, throw that Ice Punch, and then they immediately swapped into Quagsire to catch the charge move. So good. All right, so we got Tapu Fini here on the lead. Now, this might be that previous #1 player in the world on leaderboards team. So it was Tapu Fini, Galarian Stufisk, Gliscor, and I did run that team as well. It was definitely very strong and very fun to use. So that video is on the channel as well if you guys haven't seen it already. But we do have the Quagsire letting go that Surf right here, and they're going to go ahead and go for the Stone Edge. Now, if this is that team, there is a Galarian Stufisk in the back, which is going to be deadly. So they're going to swap into Frostlass. In comes Gliscor, and in comes the Galarian Stufisk. Now, thankfully, in this situation, Frostlass can still do a lot of neutral damage with avalanches right here. As you guys can see, that land, that's a lot of damage, and all they need to do is desperately try to get this thing low enough and get a shield. So they're going to let that first Rock Slide go through. It does do super effective damage, but not enough to one-shot a Frostlass with that much health. And this Avalanche now is going to get a shield here from the Galarian Stufisk. So now Galarian Stufisk is going to desperately try to farm down. How many times has I said desperately this video? I think that's the key word today. The thing is, I always have a word that I fixate on when I do these random shoutcasts. And you guys always let me know down in the YouTube comments, like, every single time. It's funny. But, alright, so we got Quagsire and Noctowl left. There's still the Shadow Gliscor to deal with. And Galarian Stufisk has a little bit of energy. So let's see how they decide to play it. Do we see a sack swap here? Oh, they do try to sack swap to catch it. But the Galarian Stufisk holds it. And they get farmed down by Gliscor. This is not good. It is up to Noctowl to take out Shadow Gliscor and Galarian Stufisk, and the Galarian Stufisk has a Rock Slide, which means they have to have a charge move ready to go to CMP tie that Galarian Stufisk, otherwise it's going to be a loss. So they go for the Sky Attack right here, and now it's going to be a matter of farming down. They can survive this next Night Slash, but it's going to be a race. Let's see if they can get enough energy here. Yes, they can. Actually, that's a perfect amount for Shadow Ball. Wow. All right. So this Night Slash is not going to be enough to KO. They got the exact amount and CMP tie the Galarian Stufisk and win it with the Shadow Ball right here. What a beautiful game. Wow. All right. Awesome team on both sides. All right, moving to the next one, we got Quagsire in the lead versus Trevenant. Okay, so this is a hard lead loss right here. We will see a swap out right away into Frostlass this time, and in comes Galarian Stufisk. So this is actually a pretty good situation where they can, again, get it low. If the Galarian Stufisk decides to no-shield both of them, you know, it's gonna be a good game because they'll be able to take switch right here. So they can easily no-shield this, but do they want to actually push shields right here? No, they're going to go ahead and let it go. And now they're going to look to get themselves shield advantage, because if Noctowl has a good matchup or someone a neutral matchup in the back, yep, they get a shield right there with Frostlass, and now they will get farmed down. Unfortunately, not able to make it to the next Avalanche. But we will see that Quagsire come back in and load up on energy. That's really honestly the only play right here. They are going to get hit with an Earthquake, which is going to be very, very unfortunate for them, and they're going to go ahead and shield it. Alright, so now they're just going to try to farm down. I wonder if they'll try to catch the charge move here on Noctowl. No, they're going to go ahead and let this one go through. I think this might have been enough energy. Yeah, it was enough energy for another Earthquake. So they're going to be able to farm down. Now that Trevenant is going to come in, and they will swap out right away, and it's going to be... Oh, it's a Lantern in the back. Yeah, instant surrender. So triple hard locked right there, basically, in some bad matchups. Good game. All right, so we got Swampert here on the lead. So Mudboy versus Mudboy. Let's see who's going to come out on top. Now, remember, Earthquake does a lot of neutral damage in this situation, but Swampert does have access to those Hydro Cannons, so it's going to be able to outpace in terms of damage done, basically. And they decide to shield right there. So maybe there's something weak in the back to Quagsire, and are they going to read it and shield right here? No, they're going to go ahead and let that Hydro Cannon go through. And will we see... We're going to probably see a shield on this next one. Right? No? No, they just let it go! Okay, trusting blind faith in Noctowl and Frostlass to close this game out, as Swampert is going to be able to go on a Hydro Cannon spam right here. It's going to win the race to the next one. Yep. Oh, a beautiful swap out now into Charizard, actually, to try to catch the charge move, but Noctowl holding on to the energy and loading up now. Able to go for a Sky Attack, and a second one should be able to KO. And if they get this Charizard out of the game, Frostlass might be free to completely sweep, because this might have been the only, like, counter, right, if you think of the Fire typing in Blast Burn. But even then, it doesn't want to get hit with an Avalanche or a Shadow Ball. So this is going to be a tough one. It's actually a Frostlass Mirror now in the back, so it kind of makes sense why they wanted desperately to win that lead with Swampert, right? Because if you think of what Stone Edge could have done to the backline of a Charizard and a Frostlass, the decision to shield that first Earthquake was critical. So they're going to go ahead and shield this Avalanche, and now we do see a Swampert come in, and this is a tough situation. Charge moves left in the game is going to be Hydro Cannon and Shadow Ball, but Hydro Cannon does less damage, so they're going to go ahead and let it go through, and they know that. So they're going to go ahead and go for the Avalanche right here, because had they decided to shield it, they might have lost against the Frostlass, who could get to a Shadow Ball right here, or even an Avalanche. Well, no, if they shielded the Hydro Cannon, they would have had more health. But that is going to be a good game, very well played, as they can boom this Shadow Ball against the Frostlass. Boom! Down it goes. All right. Moving into the next one. We have Quagsire on the lead versus Toxapex. Okay, very, 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 very positive lead right here. And we do see a swap out into Sableye, so we will see the Noctowl come in right away. This is definitely Noctowl's matchup to lose. But Sableye does have the potential to flip it if they decide to shield and Noctowl doesn't, right? The neutral damage is there from the charge moves, but Noctowl can easily take this one. So they're going to go ahead and shield, and it was a return. So that's a big shield right there from Noctowl, and they can safely farm down right here as this next charge move is just going to be a foul play, which isn't going to be enough to one-shot. So they're going to go ahead and let that go and look to farm down. So they have a lot of energy now for the Toxapex that is going to be coming back in. And Toxapex is very bulky, so its attack stat is pretty bad, and its charge moves aren't the greatest. So it is going to... Oh, they're going to go ahead and swap out into Frostlass, and in comes a Trevenant. That's a huge read right there, thinking that, you know what, Noctowl probably has a really good matchup in the back. So let's go ahead and bring in that Frostlass to draw out Pokemon number 3 to get ourselves even shields basically right here, as Trevenant is going to go ahead and go for a Seed Bomb. And what's great about Noctowl is it hard walls Trevenant so badly that they can easily just let this one go through, build up to 2 Sky Attacks, throw both because there's only 1 shield left in the game. The Seed Bomb, as you guys can see, doesn't do that much damage. Now they can safely go for back-to-back. This is basically a checkmate situation because Trevenant could shield, right? They decide to let it go. All right, so since they decided to let it go, they're going to go ahead and go for a Sky Attack here against Toxapex, and Quagsire is still in the back, and it does have access to that Earthquake, which will do super effective damage while resisting the Poison Jabs and the Sludge Wave. The only thing that can do damage here is Brine, and that is not going to do too much. Yeah, that is going to be a good game. The opponent does decide to surrender. All right. Moving to the next one, we have Quagsire versus Shadow Swampert this time. All right, so an Earthquake will definitely be a beautiful one-shot right here if they decide to let it go through. Now, we don't know what that backline is going to be, but they're going to go ahead and opt to go for Stone Edge, and I believe this was a CMP tie. So they're going to be able to survive this Hydro Cannon, but again, they cannot survive 2. But if this Stone Edge gets no shielded, it's going to be dangerous. This gets a shield. Yeah, it does get a shield. So now they can go for the Earthquake and shield themselves as they can stop this Hydro Cannon, because they'll be able to get to it before a 3rd Hydro Cannon can come through. Yep, here comes the Earthquake. And if they get 2 shields right here, uh-oh, Quagsire, boom him. No, it gets 2 shields, so they're going to go ahead and swap out now into Noctowl, and in comes a Registeel. So I'm curious to see if it's actually going to be a Noctowl in the back. Swampert on the lead, being so weak to Grass-type Pokemon, you need a flyer of some sort. So it could be Altaria, Skarmory, Noctowl, just naming off a few, but that would be my guess, is that there is some sort of flyer back there, which means Frostlass will probably sweep this game. And thankfully, because of Shadow Ball right here, Noctowl can do neutral damage against the Registeel. Now, Registeel did land that Zap Cannon, but thankfully, Noctowl is so bulky that it can just go for multiple Shadow Balls right here before even getting close to being farmed down, as it takes out the Minty Registeel. In comes the Swampert, and now this is a tough situation. You can't come in with Quagsire because they might be able to farm down before you get to the charge move, so they have to come with Frostlass, and they're gonna have to start shielding. Maybe not this first one, but the second one for sure. They're gonna go ahead and shield the first one. All right, what's gonna be in the back? Are they gonna sack swap? They do sack swap again, so Quagsire gonna be soaking this Hydro Cannon. No, they soaked the Earthquake. Even better. Frostlass now is absolutely dangerous, and it was a Noctowl in the back, so double Avalanche will be able to take this game, as Frostlass is going to be booming the owl out of the sky. Oh, no, it survived. They have to throw this next... Oh, my goodness. I thought that was going to be just enough damage, but I was wrong. And now, this is going to be a dangerous race because Swampert has a Hydro Cannon. Oh, no, it's Shadow Swampert. Oh, boom, down goes. Oh, man. I was hyping that up like it was going to be a win. But unfortunately, the Avalanche did not one-shot. So now, all right, we have a Galarian Weezing. This is pretty spicy here on the lead. And we do see a Registeel swap in. So Quagsire, core breaking 2 Pokemon now. I wonder if it's going to be core breaking 3. So here comes the Earthquake, and Quagsire is in a very, very comfortable situation where the opponent has to shield. Wind advisory for Auburn Watch out. There's win. Okay, no shielding right there. The Zap Cannon, I'm confused why there's so many alerts. Oh my goodness. Confused why they didn't go for Focus Blast. I guess their goal was to try to lower the attack and try to get a shield here from Quagsire. So, alright, just a heads up. So TD and anyone submitting battles, notifications off. It's the way to go. So we're going to go ahead and see the Quagsire commit to the farm down. No, they go for the Stone Edge at the last second right here to see if they can force another shield from Registeel. Yeah, there's only one shield left. So we will see Swampert now come in. What was the lead? It was Galarian Weezing, wasn't it? So Swampert actually, Quagsire doing very well in this meta. We do see a swap out now into Noctowl, and I think this is basically going to be a good game where Noctowl can easily just load up on energy right here. They can survive 2 Hydro Cannons, no problem. And yeah, they're actually just going to go ahead and just force the final shield now with this Sky Attack. As it will be... Oh, it does get shielded. Okay. So now Swampert going to try to get this Noctowl low, but they're going to let it go because the Froslash should be able to close this game out. As they now... I don't think they can get to another Hydro Cannon in time. Oh, they can get to a third one in time. A miscount on my end from the energy. That is okay. We're going to see the Froslash take this one as the Weezing now is going to come in. And they can do a lot of neutral damage with the Shadow Ball right here. So that's looking to be a good game, very well played. Spicy Pokemon with the Galarian Weezing on the opponent's side, but unfortunately another catch on the Quagsire. My goodness, the sack swaps are OP. Froslash now is going to go ahead and farm down. Yeah, that's going to be a good game, very well played. And that was the final battle. So this team, again, was run by my patrons and the YouTube members as well. You guys got to see this team at the very beginning of the season. It's been our secret team that we've had all season long, and it's incredibly strong and did very well against the meta that we saw with Noctowls and Lanturns and all that jazz. So shout out to SoTD, huge congrats on hitting Legend, and thanks for building this team for us. Quagsire, Noctowl, and Froslash. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.